Welcome back, everyone. Now that we know how to tear down a mobile device, let's talk about unleashing the mobile workspace. Today, we are covering CompTIA A Plus Core 1, Objective 1.2, where we will compare and contrast accessories and connectivity options for our mobile devices. Let's start with what I call the portability compromise. Mobile devices are specifically designed to prioritize battery life, thermal management, and a compact form factor over raw performance and ergonomics. The trade off for this amazing portability is that you get fewer I/O ports, smaller screens, and constrained input methods. But as IT professionals, our mission is to use connectivity options and accessories to bridge that exact gap, effectively transforming those constrained mobile devices into powerful, limitless workstations. To do that, we rely on the physical lifelines of the mobile device, our legacy and modern connectors. First, there is Mini USB, a legacy connector used for early digital cameras and older peripherals that is rarely seen today. Then we have Micro USB or Micro B, a flatter connector standard for older Android smartphones that is actively fading from enterprise use. The modern standard taking over the world is USB-C. It is reversible, extremely compact, and capable of high data transfer rates up to 40 Gbps, as well as power delivery up to 100 W. It is so robust that it has been adopted for both Thunderbolt 3 and 4 interfaces. We are currently experiencing a massive shift to a universal standard, specifically the USB-C transition. Apple's proprietary Lightning connector, which was introduced in 2012 for iPhones and iPads to replace the old 30-pin dock, is actively being phased out in favor of USB-C. Lightning requires a Lightning to USB adapter for PC data transfer and charging. Why the massive shift? It is driven by industry standardization demands for higher power delivery and faster data transfer, alongside serious regulatory pressure like European Union mandates to reduce electronic waste. Next, let's talk about creating personal area networks, or PANs, using Bluetooth technology. Bluetooth uses radio communications to establish a short-range network. Common use cases include connecting your wireless peripherals, like headsets, speakers, keyboards, mice, and smartwatches, directly to PCs and mobile devices. For performance, standard Bluetooth supports speeds up to 3 Mbps. However, versions 3 and 4 can achieve up to 24 Mbps by negotiating an 802.11 radio link for larger file transfers. Then there is the power of proximity with near-field communication, or NFC. NFC is a peer-to-peer wireless technology requiring very close proximity, typically 10 centimeters or 4 inches, up to a maximum of 20 centimeters. It has very low data rates, 106, 212, and 424 kbps, because it is designed solely for exchanging tiny amounts of information securely. Its primary uses include contactless point-of-sale payments via digital wallets like Apple Pay or Google Pay, which use secure one-time tokens rather than transmitting your actual credit card data. It is also used for quick device pairing, like tapping an NFC-enabled smartphone to a headset to automatically negotiate a Bluetooth connection. Now, what if you need internet access on the go for your laptop? Let's look at one-to-one network sharing, commonly known as tethering. Tethering is sharing a mobile device's cellular data connection with another device. You can use USB tethering, which provides a highly secure wired data connection while simultaneously charging the mobile device. Alternatively, Bluetooth tethering shares the internet connection wirelessly, but it runs at slower speeds and causes a high battery drain on the host device. You can also broadcast that cellular connection using a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot. This is a specific form of tethering where the mobile device acts as a wireless router, sharing its cellular connection over Wi-Fi. To configure this, you set up an access point with a network name or SSID, a security type like WPA2 PSK, and a minimum 8-character password. A major consideration here is that while it allows multiple devices to connect simultaneously, it poses a high drain on battery life and potential security risks if auto-join settings are left enabled on your devices. Let's put this into practice with a scenario checkpoint. A field technician is working in a remote area with absolutely no Wi-Fi. They need to connect their laptop to the internet to download a large schematic, but their smartphone battery is sitting at 15%. Question: Which connection method should the technician use to share the smartphone's cellular data? The answer is USB tethering. The rationale is simple. USB tethering provides a fast, secure connection while allowing the laptop to actually charge the smartphone, preventing the device from dying during the download. Using a hotspot or Bluetooth tethering would rapidly drain that remaining 15% battery. Back in the office, we can expand our connectivity without adding hardware by using port replicators. These are devices that attach to a laptop, often via a special back or underside connector or a simple USB cable, to quickly provide a full complement of ports. The purpose is convenience. It allows a user to leave monitors, keyboards, mice, and Ethernet cables permanently plugged in at their desk, so they simply connect one cable to their laptop when they sit down. However, the limitation is right in the name. A port replicator only replicates ports. It does not add any new functionality, storage, or processing power to the laptop. For true desktop transformation, you need a docking station. A docking station is a highly sophisticated expansion unit. When docked, the portable computer truly functions as a desktop machine. The key differences versus a port replicator include added functionality, like supporting add-in cards or additional hard drives via media bays. They provide desktop-level power with robust power delivery and support for full-size expansion cards. Furthermore, their form factor often utilizes a proprietary hardware footprint designed specifically to lock securely into a certain chassis. We are even seeing mobile devices act as desktop replacements now. Smartphone and tablet docks are emerging because modern mobile devices possess processing power that completely rivals traditional desktops. The setup involves connecting the smartphone or tablet via its USB-C or Lightning port to an external dock. The result? It outputs to a full-size external monitor and speakers and connects to a keyboard and mouse, totally transforming the mobile user interface into a full desktop workstation environment. Let's review our human interface devices, starting with precision pointer control. The touchpad is the embedded panel on a laptop chassis used for pointer control, which supports complex multi-touch inputs, scrolling, and gestures that you can configure via OS settings. A trackpad functions similarly, but technically refers to a larger format device attached as an external peripheral. Finally, a track point is a pressure-sensitive nub embedded directly into the center of some laptop keyboards. The harder you press that nub, the faster the cursor moves across the screen. For creative workflows, we have tools for natural input. Drawing pads, often called graphics tablets, are large format touch devices attached as peripherals. They are used primarily for sketching, painting, and CAD in digital applications. You use a stylus or touch pen with these drawing pads and touch screens for a natural input feel instead of using your fingers. A stylus provides pinpoint precision for handwriting and drawing, and pro-level styluses feature removable and changeable nibs to simulate different pen or brush types. To bridge the audio-visual gap for communications, we rely on webcams and microphones. On laptops, microphones are typically located up in the top bezel, right next to the camera lens. On smartphones and tablets, you have dual cameras on the front and rear, and the microphones are usually positioned on the bottom edge. Headsets combine headphone speakers and a microphone into one unit. They can connect wired via a standard 3.5mm audio jack, USB, or Lightning and USB-C adapters, or they can connect wirelessly via Bluetooth. If you need higher fidelity output, you can use external speakers connected via 3.5mm, USB, or Bluetooth. Time for our final scenario checkpoint. Focusing on desktop expansion. An executive wants to use their ultra-thin laptop at their office desk. They require dual external monitors, an Ethernet connection, a full-size mechanical keyboard, and a dedicated PCIe graphics card for rendering 3D models. Question: which solution must the IT technician deploy? The answer is a docking station. Rationale: while a basic port replicator could handle the monitors, the keyboard, and the Ethernet, only a true docking station can support adding hardware functionality like a PCIe expansion card. To summarize mastering mobile accessories and connectivity, USB-C is our foundation. rapidly replacing legacy and proprietary cables to unify power and data delivery. The airwaves are handled by Bluetooth and NFC for short range peripheral connections, while tethering and hotspots extend cellular networks to isolated devices. In the workspace, port replicators organize your cables, while docking stations add raw hardware power. Finally, the human interface relies on trackpads, trackpoints, styluses, and headsets to perfectly bridge the gap between human intent and digital execution. Thank you for your attention today.